Welcome back to Auto Street. Today I'm really excited because we're diving headlong into what might become one of the most talked about muscle cars of this generation, the 2026 Plymouth Road Runner V-Code. This car brings back the legendary Road Runner name with a modern twist, blending raw power, nostalgic cues, and high-tech, and I'm going to walk you through everything: what it looks like, what it feels like inside, how it performs, and what it costs. So buckle up, let's hit the road. When you first lay eyes on the Road Runner V-Code, it gives you that visceral muscle car punch. The body is bold and aggressive: wide hips, pronounced wheel arches, a long hood, and a short rear deck, proportions that harken to the golden era of American muscle. The front fascia is dominated by a menacing grille, with integrated LED lighting that blends retro round shapes with sharp modern accents. You'll see functional vents on the hood, and side scoops that hint at performance beneath the skin. From the side, it's low and squat, with big wheels, think forged alloys wrapped in sticky performance rubber. The rear end features a full-width taillight bar, dual exhaust tips that flare out on either side, and a diffuser built for aerodynamics as much as for show. Finishes range from classic solid colors to two-tone retro liveries, all with modern clear coats that give a glassy sheen in sunlight. The stance is low, wide, and purposeful. When it's parked, it looks ready to leap. Slide into the Road Runner's cabin and the contrast is striking: retro muscle spirit meets contemporary luxury. The seats are heavily bolstered, upholstered in premium leather with contrast stitching and optional suede inserts. The pattern may echo vintage houndstooth or striped motifs, but the support and comfort are pure 21st century. The dashboard carries over design touches from classic Road Runners: big analog gauges with modern digital faces, toggle switches, and metal trim. But you also get a large central touchscreen infotainment display with haptic feedback, integrated climate controls, and digital overlays. Ambient lighting, configurable in multiple colors, gives a bit of drama at night. The steering wheel is thick, performance-oriented, with paddle shifters behind it. Materials throughout are high-quality, soft leather, brushed aluminum, carbon fiber inlays depending on trim. Rear seats are tight. This is a muscle car after all, but usable for short trips, and there's a decent-sized trunk for weekend gear. Noise insulation is tuned to let you hear the engine growl without feeling rattled on highways. Controls are intuitive, visibility is good for a performance car, and the overall feel is one of purposeful elegance rather than barebones. Under the hood is where the Road Runner V-Code really asserts itself. Power comes from a high-output Hemi V8, or analogous power plant, tuned for maximum torque and responsiveness. In V-Code trim you're looking at something in the neighborhood of 800 to 850 horsepower, depending on outputs announced, with torque numbers that dominate the curve. Acceleration is brutally immediate: 0 to 60 in roughly 2.8 to 3.2 seconds, quarter mile in the low 10s or even high 9s depending on conditions. Transmission options include a fast-shifting 8 or 10-speed automatic, and for purists, a manual variant with a rev matching system. The chassis is bespoke: multi-link rear, double wishbone up front, with adaptive dampers, active aero elements, and electronically controlled limited-slip differential. Brakes are massive carbon ceramic rotors with multi-piston calipers to bring all that speed under control. Steering is precise and direct, giving you real feedback when pushing hard. Traction systems, launch control, drive modes from Heritage, a more relaxed calibrations, to track, full aggression, let the car adapt to your intent. On winding roads it feels balanced and eager, on straights it rockets, and even on the limit, the systems intervene gracefully. It's a car built by people who understand that power must be managed. So how does it stack up in real life? In city driving, there's drama every time you get on it. Turbo lag is minimal if there are forced induction components, throttle response is crisp, and it can slide into your daily routines when you desire. On highways, the Road Runner eats miles. Strong mid-range torque means effortless overtakes, and cruise mode keeps things civilized. On the track, you're rewarded: corner after corner, the car holds composure, the brakes regenerate confidence, and the engine howls with conviction. The V-Code trim is all about performance, so weight savings have been implemented via aluminum and composite body parts. The balance between comfort and performance is impressive. Yes, you feel the tautness, but the ride is never punishing to daily drive, in its more relaxed drive modes. Noise, vibration, harshness, all within acceptable tolerances given what this car is. Now, numbers like horsepower and performance are great, but what does this car cost and how does it compare to rivals? The base 2026 Plymouth Road Runner starts at a more accessible price point for a muscle car, but the V-Code version pushes it into the premium performance bracket. Expect a starting MSRP in the US of around $120,000 to $140,000, or more, depending on options. With packages, carbon fiber add-ons, special paint, and performance extras, the fully loaded V-Code could approach $180,000 to $200,000. For such a price you're getting exclusivity, performance, and heritage. Comparisons might include high-end muscle or performance coupes from Europe or domestically, but the Road Runner's value lies also in its character and brand revival. Some downsides: fuel economy is obviously not stellar, especially in V-Code settings. Maintenance and parts for specialized components are likely to be costly. Insurance, tires, brakes, all performance wore out faster. In many markets, import taxes, compliance, and emissions could push the on-road cost much higher. Also, in tight city traffic, its size and weight might feel cumbersome. But for someone seeking raw muscle with refinement, those trade-offs are acceptable. So what does the 2026 Plymouth Road Runner V-Code mean for the market? It signals a bold return of American muscle with modern sensibilities. It's not just nostalgia, it's a car built from the ground up to compete with the best of today's performance machines. On Auto Street, I believe it will draw a passionate following. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Road Runner V-Code, the looks, the cabin, the power, and the pricing, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss when we get one for a test drive. Drop a comment. What would you want to see in your ideal muscle car revival? Exterior tweaks? Interior layouts? More power? I love reading your thoughts. Thanks for riding along here on Auto Street. We'll see you next time when we test one day in real life, push it to limits, and bring you the full experience. Until then, drive safe, stay passionate, and keep that automotive fire burning.